let's get this thing going. This gentleman that I get to introduce to all of you, he has experience in this industry, and he was what's called an ESD, which is a senior vice president equivalent in a company called Excel. He built a large organization. He was able to help lots of people to have success in this industry. He contacted Mr. Al Thomas to get connected with him and ACN, got involved with the business, put his head down and went to work. The first time that I met him was at a special leadership event that we had with Mr. Greg Provenzano at the office in Charlotte, North Carolina. I remember that like it was yesterday, and him and his group were there, and they had some incredible questions from Mr. Greg Provenzano, but he took everything that he learned in his previous business and he applied it in ACN with everything that Greg and all of the leaders taught here. And he's fastly approaching the position of regional vice president. I have so much respect for him and what he does. He's a family man, but he also loves to help his business partners make money. So without any further ado, you guys can help me show my appreciation for our guest speaker of the morning, Regional Director, Mr. Curtis Evans. Good morning, sir. It's good to see you.
All right, very good. I'd like to thank everybody for coming on this morning. Hopefully we give you some information, some things that are going to help you grow your business. Like Al said, push your business forward. This is just one of those things that we have to do. So I'm glad you're all here today. The good thing about being with a group of people in network marketing is those folks typically are forward thinkers. You guys think forward. It's very, 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 very difficult to build a business looking in the rearview mirror. You notice on your car, there's a windshield, and the windshield is big and expansive. When you look out of the windshield, you can see what's going on, what's happening in front of you. You know when to turn the steering wheel a little bit, how to make adjustments, tap the brakes hard, tap the brakes harder, slam on the brakes, turn the steering wheel real fast, something's going on, or just hold it steady in the road. And you can tell all that by looking at the road. So it's a couple of things you have to do. As anybody that drives, and most of you drive, I'm sure, you'll know that constantly, as you look through this big old windshield, you're looking at what's happening way down the road, okay? So you're driving, you don't wait till something comes right up on you and then slam on brakes. You're looking way down the road. And because you're looking so far down the road, you tend to get a feel for if you need to touch the brakes or not. Very few of us are driving the car and looking right in front of the car, looking dead in front of the car, just in front of the car, never looking down the road. But a lot of people live their lives that way. They are looking at only today. So they're looking not down the road, they're looking at just what's right in front of the car right now. And because of that, they don't know where they're going. The only thing they're worried about is what's happening this hour, what's happening today. I'm not worried about down the road because I'm only worried about today. I gotta get through the day first. And to some degree, that's right. You got to get through the day, right? I got to go through this next 10 feet before I go, a mile down the that logic sort of makes sense, except it don't. You have to look down the road. When you're driving, you're looking down the road so you can make adjustments in where you're going. They asked Warren Buffett, they asked him, one question was, why don't more people take your advice? Because he's very, very wealthy. He's a very down-to-earth person. And they asked, one of the commentators asked, why don't more people take your advice? Why aren't there more wealthy people in this company, in this country? And remember, again, you are in the United States of America, 2022. You're not trying to get here. You're not trying to hope you make it. You're here. In fact, you were more than likely born here. So you're a citizen of the United States. And you were around in the United States when the internet was exploding. Now, I'll talk about when it exploded, because right now is when we call time, go. And you were able at that time to start a business from home. Instead of working for someone else, you could start a business from home and get your business started. Remember, every big business in the world started at home. I don't care, General Electric, Ford, Chrysler. Do you think Ford came up with a car down at the shop? Or you think he was sleeping one night and he came up with an idea? He was sleeping one night, he came with an idea. And at first it was just a what? Idea. That's all it was. Tesla, you think Mr. Elon Musk, do you think it was an idea first, or he just had a car and he took it out there and showed it to everybody, everybody wanted it, so he started making it? No, it wasn't what? An idea first. Think about that. It was an idea. And there are tons and tons of money. We can go on and on in the industry. What about electricity? Remember now, everybody's using what? Candles, and they're throwing wood on the fire to make light, to make heat in the house. They did that for years. They burned wood, sticks, stones, and started a fire to make heat. And then somebody came with what? An idea of what? Electricity. And from that idea of electricity is why we can eat, why we can grow food in another part of the world, cool it, freeze it, get it to your part of the world, and put it in the freezer, and then take it out and cook it one night. And that's because of the freezer? No, because of electricity. And yes, the freezer. But the electricity was an idea, and so is the freezer. It was an idea. What about an airplane? Now, flying, we all know about the Wright brothers, but don't you think they had an idea first? It was an idea. What if we could fly? Now, this weekend, we're flying to Denver this weekend, and a couple weekends later to Baltimore. I want everybody to get a ticket to Baltimore. You need to be there, because at the convention, they're going to be coming up and they're going to be talking about what? Ideas. And you need to be there. What's one of the ideas they're going to be talking about? And one of the ideas that they're going to be talking about, what did you say? Mike, I'm doing the presentation at 12. I'll call you right back. One of the ideas that they're talking about a few weeks ago was an idea about health insurance, health sharing. Now, a lot of people, that idea, you could even be there and not get it for a while. You might be there, you might be in the business with health share at the beginning and not get an idea. You know, not get it. You just don't see it. But it's huge, okay? An idea. What's another idea? I want to come to a guy by the name of Sam Foster, and I want to say, Sam, I got an idea I want to run by you. And Sam said, what is it? I said, I need a few seconds. I know Sam a long way back. I may not ask Sam the question, do you want to make some money? I know Sam, so I would be kind of weird asking. I'd just say, Sam, I got an idea I want to run by you. Sam said, what is it? And I said, well, it has something to do with making money from home. You think you'd be interested? Sam said, yeah, what is it? And then I shared the idea. Sam might see the idea, and Sam may not see the idea. Sam may see it, he may get it, but he may not. Why? Because he might not can't understand electricity. Maybe he can't understand an electric car. Maybe he can't understand bringing an indoor bathroom from outside and bringing it in the house. Maybe those ideas may be hard for him to grasp. So when you're showing people the business, remember, some people can catch on to ideas and some people just can't. And in fact, some people got to be in the house. You said, let's go to the bathroom. Instead of walking outside, you go down the hallway and go into a bathroom. They may have to do that first before they believe in the bathroom. They may have to take something out of the freezer before they believe the freezer works. They may have to get shocked by electricity before they believe electricity is real. But for a lot of people, they struggle with the idea. Now, first of all, they are good at talking about people. What she got that on for? What is Curtis wearing that blue coat for? And they're talking about people. And then there's another set of people that are talking about things, cars, this, that, the other thing. And then the wealthy, they're always talking about ideas. What if? Suppose. And that's where you want to be. So if some of your friends can't see it, that's okay. And I remember what Aaron Burke said. Aaron Burke said from one of the stages at one of our meetings, he said some people just can't see it. He called him Stevie. Now, the reason he called him Stevie is because Stevie Wonder, he's blind and Stevie can't see, right? And there's a lot of jokes. A lot of people say that Stevie, every time Stevie go in his house, he turns his lights on and he's in there all the time. And they think Stevie can see. They really believe he can see and all that. But the truth of the matter is, if you're blind, and you're blind for a lot of different reasons, health-wise, maybe born that way, you simply can't see. So if somebody asks you to try to see a car or see something, you never seen one before. So some folks, when you show them the business, they just can't see it. When you talk about what? Residual income, as clear as it is to you guys on this call, if I showed it to Julian Lewis and he said, residual income, what's that? And I said, it's money that you get paid for doing something one time. It comes every month. And the reason it comes every month is because he says, why? Because people pay bills every month. I mean, they pay bills because they got to pay these bills. They got to pay these bills, and you just get a part of that. And that over time becomes money that will take care of you and your family. It's huge. Now, as simple as that was, a lot of people will not believe that or understand it. And so you got to remember, Aaron said something really simple. He said, some people can't see it. Okay. And so you don't need to spend your time convincing people of things that they just can't see. That's a lot of time. Now you're convincing. And when you start convincing, this business gets really, really hard. Because see, first of all, you can't explain it to them after you explained it to them and then explain it to them, they don't see it. And sometimes the timing matter. However, keep this in mind. With your really good friends, you got to ask them this, Stevie, if we don't do this, what are we going to do? Okay, what does that mean when I say that? If a good friend of mine is Julian Lewis, and Julian said, Kurt, I'm not interested in that. I'm just not, that's just not my thing. I'm sorry, that's just not my thing. And I need to look Lewis right in between his eyes. I need to look at him and say, look, Julian, you and I go back, way back a long time ago. Julian, let's go do something big. And Julian said, Kurt, I don't see it. I said, okay, that's fine. Okay, Julian, if we don't do this, what are we going to do? Now, you can do this with your friends. Okay, now I'm not talking about everybody, but with your friends, you can say, if we don't do this, what are we going to do? In other words, they have no plans at all. You have a plan. You came to them with a plan, and they have no plans at all. In fact, what do you have to do there? Shake the dust off your feet, like the Bible says, and go to the next person. Okay, it's just that simple. And so we spend a lot of time in this business talking to a few people. And the secret is what? Talking to a lot of people a little bit. That's the secret. The secret is, if you want to know, it's some secret sauce here. When you're first starting your business, we tend to want to convince our Julian and Sam to do the business. And Aaron Burke calls him Stevie. Now, he's not picking on Stevie, but he says, Stevie, if we don't do this, what are we going to do? Are we going to just keep working at this place for the rest of our life? Nothing wrong with this place. Getting a check, work 40 hours this week and getting paid for it next week. Work out 40 hours this week, get paid next week, work 40 hours, and then they let us off. And if someone in our family passes away, like a mother, father, or sister, or brother, or when something happens, they let us get off for 3 days, and then you got to come back to work. And you get 2 weeks vacation, and we'll tell you when you can take them. Okay. If that is okay with them, then they're good people. They might be a real good customer. And then the second question is what? Who do you know? Because they may know Aaron Burke. They may know Julian Lewis. They may know Sam Foster. Okay. They may know Daryl Ransom. Okay. Does that make sense? If they may know someone else. Okay. And then you put them on your calendar, and tell on your calendar, you say, repeat every 6 months, repeat once a year. Okay. Because you'll forget them, and one day they may come run up on stage, and you will go to you say, sorry, good for nothing, Sam Foster. I showed him this business 3 years ago, and he talked trash, and now Sam is an RVP Gold, RVP Platinum in the business. And so it's only because you didn't follow up. So that's why they say the fortune is in the follow-up. And the reason the fortune is in the follow-up is a timing thing. It's a timing thing. So I remember the guy that showed me the business, he came to me over and over and over. And I'll tell you the story. He came to me over and over and over and over trying to show me this business. I mean, it wasn't like I saw it the first time. I didn't see it. And probably I was prejudging him. He was a security guard at the job. They get paid okay, but they didn't get paid as much as I got paid. So I figured, what is he doing telling me about making a lot of money and he's not making a lot of money? That was a logic that I put on it. This poor logic, don't make sense logic, but I just could not see it, okay? And so I was prejudging him. And finally, I got into his business. A year and a half later, I got into his business, created a huge organization. And the business paid for his house payment. And he didn't do anything. He just got in. He got the customer points up where he needed to get them. And the business that I built under him paid his house payment, his car payment, and his utility bill every month. So just imagine that you have your car payment made, your house payment made, and your utility bill paid every month. Isn't that great? For sign up, how many IBOs? One, just one, just one. Okay. And so is that worth going back every 6 months and saying, hey, are you open to making any money? I got an idea to run by you. Yeah, and that's all you do. Just bump them for a second or two. Then go ahead and talk about football for 3 seconds or cars for 2 seconds, and then get off the phone and say, I got a call coming in. I got to go, and then go. Okay. So they're still your friends. So I don't want to say just erase it, but initially our mistake is just spending a lot of time trying to get people to see something we don't. So the reason Greg Provenzano told us, the reason he thinks that we don't talk to more people is because we think that when we get them into business, we got to take them to SVP. We think that I personally have to take somebody to SVP. And he says, you're responsible for the environment. That's all you're responsible for. So once Rick, I can pronounce your name, Rick Kabok. I can't say. Okay, I'll try to get it. But once Rick puts me into business, Rick is not responsible to take me to SVP. Rick is not responsible to take me to RVP. Rick is not responsible to take me to RD, because I won't pay attention. I don't come to meetings. I don't take calls. I won't go to conventions. So I'm not that type of person. So Rick does the best he can, and he keeps the environment conducive to him so I can learn. So he has conference calls so I can get on anytime. He tells me about, and he hits me every 6 months. Even though I stopped doing the business, he bounces something off me every 6 months until boom, I'm ready to go. So those are just some simple rules, but when you're peaking people, peak them. And if they're good friends, press them pretty hard. Like I said, Stevie, if we don't do this, then what are we going to do? Because sometimes we feel real bad. Now, I'm going to tell you what happens is if I ask Sam, and me and Sam and I know each other going way back, and I ask about the business and he says no, I might not ask nobody else. I'm just heartbroken. It's just tore apart. I thought Sam was going to do it. Sam always talks about making money. And so I think the best thing to do so you don't feel so bad, because you have a great idea. People get paid, people paying bills they got to pay, and you get paid every month on thousands upon thousands of bills that people got to pay. Great idea. But Sam didn't see it, or was a bad timing for him. So you ask him, Sam, if we don't do this, what are we going to do? And you find out that Sam don't have any ideas at all, then you can go on. You can move on. You don't feel so bad. I got an idea. Let me keep running with that. And so that works. Sometimes they come in later, sometimes they don't. Some people, when you make it a big checks, I should have got in when you got in. So you're trying to make a lot of money before you ask them. No, go ahead and ask them the question. Ask them the question, and then try to get them off your list. And what we call it is a conscious list. I want to get you off my conscious. If you got somebody that you know really, really well, and you really need to talk to them, or you maybe might be a cousin or a friend, more than likely is a family member. Tell them this, I need to get you off my conscious. They say, what's wrong? What you do? So, man, I got to get you off my conscious. I mean, something that's going to do real, real well, and I want to run it by you. And you run it by them, okay? They say, I'm interested, get them on a Zoom call. They're interested, get them on a call. If they won't go on a Zoom call for whatever reason, send them a video and tell them, I'll call you back. Do what you got to do, but give them the information. And what they call this is getting them off your conscious, because most of us have not called everybody in our phone listing. Okay, we just have not called them yet. Okay, we got people in our phone that we haven't called yet. So we got to get good at that part. Look, Joe, I haven't talked to you in a while. I saw your name and I got to get you off my conscience. What's wrong? Hey, listen, I got something I want to run by you. And then run it by them. Tell them about the event that you're going to get them to, which is a Zoom event, or possibly giving them some information that will help them get to the Zoom event. Okay, but remember, when you're wealthy and doing very, very well in the business, they're going to come to you and they're going to ask you a question. You know what they're going to ask you? Why don't you tell me about that? But Julian, what would you tell me if you and I have been knowing each other a long time, way back since 3rd grade? We've been knowing each other. We've been to football games, basketball games. We dated the same girl once, same girl twice. We done did everything together. I'm filthy rich, flying around on an airplane, got a Ferrari. I mean, I'm balling it on the beach. And you run into me one day, you said, Kurt, what's going on? I said, nothing much. He said, is that your car? I said, yeah. He said, where you live? I said, right down the beach. You're like, what? What's going on? He said, I got a business I'm building out of my home and it worked real well. So what is Julian going to tell me? Why didn't you tell me about that? Right? I said, well, Julian, I didn't think you'd be interested. I mean, and Julian says, interested, or would you rather say this? Julian, look in your phone. I've been calling you for the last 6 years. So Julian's with his wife or his girlfriend, and she's looking at this rich guy tell her girl, she's watching a rich guy tell her boyfriend, Julian, that he's been trying to get in touch with him about this business that's blowing up. And this guy has a Ferrari. He lives on the beach and he's flying back in from Japan. Tomorrow he's going to another country. And she's looking at Julian like, you sorry, good for nothing, right? That's what she's saying. She's not going to say it out loud. She's going to say, one of your best friends came to you. And Julian looks in his phone and she looks at the phone with him. And there's 22 calls, 17 texts about this business that I want you to take a look at. So Julian just dropped down about several levels on the man level right there. She's like, okay, this guy, I gotta replace him quick. This guy's not, So what you want them to do is go to their phone and they'll see that you've been calling them and you've been texting them because you're doing a follow-up. And they just not interested. I was trying to get you, but I got to open it now. And Jimmy Dick taught me a little trick. When you do that, watch this carefully. Jimmy said, well, I might have an opening. Let me see. I might have an opening right now. Let me see. Let me call my wife. And so I'll call my wife and I'll say, hey, listen, I ran into a good friend of mine, Julian Lewis, and he wants to get into the business. Do we have an opening? And the wife will say, yeah, because she's done this a million times. She said, yeah. And we said, where is it? Okay. You sure? You think you can? Because he's a good friend of mine. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. She says she can get you in. She said, we got an opening. But you're going to need 3 reps to come in with you. You're going to need 3 people to come in with you. That's the opening that she got. And she said, you'll be shocked. The Ferrari, the car, you're off and running. There's another group. There's a guy by the name of out of SAC Excel, out of Sacramento. They used to have a big group in Excel communications, and I think Julian's upline was affiliated with it. Okay, so in SAC Excel, I can't remember the guy that ran it, but he said he would do something all the time. He would be showing people the presentation at a coffee shop or something, and they wouldn't be paying him any attention. They'll be sitting there looking, and Stevie, they can't see anything. He's drawing circles and all that, showing them the business. Got another guy coming in a little bit, and another guy coming in, and he's showing him this business. And then he said, hold it, I got something I need to show you. He said, but where is it? He looks in his bag, he can't find it. So he goes out to the car, and right inside of the Ferrari, he pulls out the same book he always pulls out. And he closes the door and he comes back into the shop and show them the same 3 circles. And they're paying close attention now. They're all over the circles. So down the road, you got some advantages after you get the toys. But for right now, you don't have those advantages. So you may want to just do this. If we don't do this, what are we going to do? You have another idea? And generally they don't. So it takes some posture to do this business. People just need to see that you're not a pushover, okay? And that well, I'll give it some thought, I'll think about it. That's not your job. So keep in mind, those are some things that we just need to learn to do. Those are skills that you need to have in your toolbox when you're talking to people, okay? All right, so the big one though, the big thing, how much time we got here? Just a couple more minutes. The big thing though, if you want to pick out the big thing, is something that Stephen Payton showed us a few weeks ago, and that is the events. I mean, people make decisions at events. I mean, you could have an IBO in the business and they will not be here next year if they don't get to an event. Your leaders will be at the event, okay? So it's something about the events. Now, this is a mistake. You go to one event and you don't go to another because of what? I already know that. That's a big mistake. I already been to one of those. Most of the leaders in our business, when I say leaders, the big money earners, in not only ACM, but in all network marketing companies, have to go to events. And they go because they have to go. They learn and they're constantly learning. And they are bringing people to events. They're very, very good at getting people to events. So the next event that we're going to, so far the team, we have 20 people going to that event. So far, right now, we have 20 people registered for the event. And we want to get it up to 50 by the time we get to Baltimore. And then when we go to Florida, we want to try to have at least 200, okay? That's 200 people, because we're teaching people how to get people to events, because at events is where people make decisions. That's why I made the decision. When I went to a small event, and then they told me I had to go to another event. And then they said I had to go to Acceleration, which is in Dallas. When I went there and I saw thousands of people, I said, oh my goodness. And I saw cooks and dishwashers on stage getting huge checks, getting promoted. People, it made a difference. And so I started making some phone calls and I came back. I'm committed to doing this. And the next time I come back, I will be a RC. And that's the decision that people make. The next time I come back, I will be an RD. The next time I come back, I will be a RVP. The next time I come back, those are the decisions that people are making at conventions. So when they see Sam Foster and Julian Lewis go across the stage, they'll say, hey, well, they'll say, I can do this. I can do this. And you don't have to do anything. So once you get people to the event, then you're not working for ACN. ACN starts working for you. Okay? So ACN goes to work for you once you got people seated at the event. They'll see what you see, and when you come back, you'll have a whole different type of organization. All right, so that is what we do. So I hope this helps someone in here to see this, and just remember, we got a concept, we got an idea. We don't have something to show them. I think sometimes people want you to show them something. Show them you're selling these. Well, what are you selling? We're selling these, or we're selling face mask, or we're selling chips, or maybe tools. You know, we're selling something. We're selling wrenches. They just need to see something. And we're not. We have an idea. How can you telephone service, internet service? You can't show that. So we have an idea. Some people will see it, and some won't move on. But put their name and number down and hit them back in 6 months or a year. Crucial. Mike Mazer and Melissa and Jeff Street. Jeff Street came in years after Mike came to see him. Years and years after he came to see him. So some people won't see it right then. Just they don't. I don't know what that's about. It's not up to you, and let's not try to figure it out. Your job is to follow up until they see it, or at least get a lead from them or something. Okay, so that's what I have for today. It's a lot about nothing. Okay, our business is a lot about nothing, but it is huge and it pays so well. So can you imagine having 100 people at a convention one day? Or can you imagine having 1,000 people? If you can imagine having 10 people at an event, then you can imagine having 100. Because those 10 people, you're going to teach 4 or 5 of those that catch to do the same thing, and you're going to keep talking that up. And when they say they can't go, yes, they can go. Because I have a room you can stay in with us, right? We got 2 rooms now. You can stay in with them. And the beauty of it, if you block out 5 rooms, I'm making this up. If you block out 5 rooms, you can write all 5 rooms off and just have all of them share it up. Okay. So 4 guys in this room, 4 guys in that room, 3 girls in this room, 4 girls in that room. And then they're all in your name. You can go back and write it all off. It's really legal. It's fair. It's honest. So there are things that we can do. It's a huge business, and it's very, very simple. We don't need to go into that minutia, that detail at the time. Ask the question, are you open to making any money around your busy schedule? And if you know the guy or girl real good, I got something I need to run by you. Yep. This is important. And then you go on and show them the business and not care about the outcome. That's the hard part, because you did it with 4 people today and nobody bit. And then you think it's not working. And you did it tomorrow with 3 more people and nobody did anything. And you think it didn't work. Because when you get the right person, you'll talk to a lot of people to get a few, but the few will bring you a lot. You'll talk to a lot of people to get a few, but the few will bring you a lot. Okay. So thank y'all very much for the time today. I hope it was some value. Just keep your heads up, keep working hard. When they say working hard, that was always confusing to me, because we don't work hard. I don't get it. We really don't work hard. You call this work? I mean, I see you guys looking into a computer screen. Don't tell nobody you were working. Okay, this is not work. I'm talking to you guys through a computer. This is not work. Get a shovel and help me dig a ditch. Just go on top of a roof and pay slings and tar on the top of a roof, or go on top of a power pole and put some electricity back together, or work on the engine on the car on the ground. That's work. This is not work. So when somebody says work hard, it's confusing, because you're talking about, what do you mean when you say work hard? That means you talked to a lot of people today and only 2 people said they'll be interested. That's what it is. It's a mental thing. You talked to a lot of people and they said no, and you moved on and you have a system to track them. That's what it means working hard, because getting an idea to cross to somebody, we have a system to do that, so you don't have to worry about how to do that. Get them in touch with your upline. If your upline is Al, or your upline is Bob or Sam or whatever. Get them to talk to them so that they can say something to your prospect that's interested, so they'll know you're not the only one in the business. So those are some skills that might help you, but push, push, push. And another thing, for everybody on the call, I got a little test for you. How many points do you need to get your next promotion? How many points do you need to get your next promotion? Okay, so if you're ETL, how many points you need to go to RC? If you're RC, how many points do you need to go to RD? If you're an RD, how many points you need to go to RVP? See, if you're on a run, if you're on a big push run, you know that number. If you say, well, let me go check it out, let me go see, you're not on a run. And the only way you get promoted from one position to another position is you're on a run. It's a 2 or 3 month process. You're blind, you're on a run. And because you say you'll have something by September, October, November, that's when you'll have it, because you're on a run. You know now that I need what? 963 points to go to RVP, right? You know that. And so what? 963, that means I need 7, oh no, I need 6, oh no, I need 8, what? I need 8 RCs. I need one I might need what? I need a RD and 1 RC. So I probably need to double that or triple that. I need to try to go for 2 RDs and 6 RCs, because I know people fall out, things happen. So you need to know the number. If you don't know the number, what are you doing? But if you don't know what it takes to get to the next pin level, what are you doing? I mean, first you need to know what that is, right? Right? You'll talk different when you know what that is. You will talk to people different when you know what that is. All right. So thank y'all very much. That takes care of my time for today. I really enjoyed it. I hope it makes sense to you. I've done this before, but I had to remember, if I wasn't wore out tired every day, I wasn't doing the business. And when I say tired, just listening to people, to helping explain it, trying to help people with customer points and that sort of thing. That's what we call work. It's physical. It's using your throat. Get some cough drops. You're gonna be tired of talking. That's work. It's not picking up things. It's not throwing things. It's not picking things up and putting things down. It's a different kind of work, mostly mental. Okay. So thank you all for your time. That takes care of everything that I have for today. Julian, it's all on you.